Application to economics. If a firm produces X units of a particular commodity, there are three important functions of X that will interest the firm: the cost function, the revenue function, and the profit function. The cost function is the total cost of producing X units of the commodity. This can be made up of both fixed costs, which you spend whether or not you produce anything, and running costs, which obviously mount as you produce more units. It varies according to the number of units made. For example, let's suppose we had a cost function that was 3000 plus 125x. The cost of 3000, which is some sort of fixed cost, which you spend even if you don't produce any units, and then $125 per unit produced. The revenue function gives the total income the firm receives by selling X units. This is found by multiplying the price per unit by the number of units sold. Now often the price per unit may be a fixed number, such as $200 per unit. I'm looking here at the fact it's costing us $125 to produce, so it might be that, but the price per unit may also be a function. When we produce a lot of the units, we may actually sell them for less. So you need to read questions carefully there. The profit function, P of X, gives the total profit from the sale of X units. Now note here we've both got to produce and sell X units, and it has to be X units for the profit function. We can't produce 200 units and sell 150. It's always going to be P of X would be, so P of 150 would be the revenue received from selling 150 units, take away the cost of producing 150 units. So the revenue and the cost involved in this profit will always be based on the same number of units. So therefore P of X is equal to R of X minus C of X. Clearly all three functions only have meaning if X is greater than or equal to 0. We can't produce a negative number of items. The gradient of each function gives the rate of change of each function with respect to X. For example, if the gradient of the profit function is 75, this tells us that the rate of change of the profit with respect to the number of units sold is $75. So the profit will go up by $75 if we produce and sell one more unit. Economists call this gradient the marginal profit when it's based on the profit function. We can also have the marginal cost and the marginal revenue. The marginal cost is C dashed of X, marginal revenue R dashed of X, and the marginal profit is P dashed of X, and they can be calculated for different values of X. This is like the instantaneous rate of change at that particular number of items produced.